You're probably not going to want to believe this, but there are buyers right now getting help with their home purchase in Washington that doesn't have to be paid back. Yeah, not deferred, not low interest, I mean forgiven. And most people relocating here or even first time buyers have no idea this exists. So today I want to break this down in plain English. What the Covenant Homeownership Program is, what forgiveness actually means, and the exact criteria you need to meet for that loan to be wiped out after 5 years. Because if you're thinking about moving to Washington, this could seriously change your strategy. All right, so first, what is this program? The Covenant Homeownership Program is a state-backed initiative in Washington designed to help certain buyers with down payment assistance, but not in the typical way. This program was created to address historical housing discrimination, specifically for buyers whose families were impacted by housing restrictions in Washington before 1968. So right out of the gate, this is not for everyone. There are eligibility requirements tied to race and family history in Washington state. If you're relocating, this is where you really need to pause and check your eligibility carefully. Now, if you do qualify, here's where things get interesting. The program offers a covenant loan, which is essentially a second mortgage used for down payment assistance. But unlike most second loans, this one has a path to full forgiveness. So let's answer the big question directly. What is forgiveness of a covenant loan? It means that if you meet all the program requirements and you hold the home long enough, that entire assistance can be completely wiped out. No repayment, no balance lingering, it's gone. But, and this is important, this is not automatic. There are very specific conditions you have to meet. Now, let me clarify something that a lot of people misunderstand. How does the loan forgiveness actually work? Well, if your income is or at below the program forgiveness threshold at the time you buy the home, then your covenant down payment loan is set up to be automatically forgiven after 5 years of ownership, as long as you meet all the criteria we're about to go through. So here's the key. Only your income at the time you purchase matters, not what you make later, not raises, not job changes. You'll also be notified in writing within about a year of buying whether you're eligible for that forgiveness track. So you're not left guessing. And one more important distinction, this forgiveness is applied to all the down payment assistance loans, not your main mortgage. You're still fully responsible for your primary home loan like any other homeowner. All right, now let's walk through the actual criteria, because this is where most people get tripped up. First, income matters at the time you buy. Your income has to be at or below the program forgiveness threshold when you purchase the home, and that's based on the underwriter approval that gets submitted for the loan. So this isn't something you fix later. If you're over the limit when you buy, forgiveness is off the table from day one. Second, the loan has to stay in the program's portfolio. The commission and their loan servicer must retain your loan for at least 5 years and the 1 month after closing. If for any reason that loan leaves their system, forgiveness is null and void. That's a big one for people to overlook. Third, you have to actually live in the home. The borrower who qualified under the covenant program must be owner occupying the property as their primary resident at the time forgiveness is granted. So this isn't for turning into a rental in 3 years and hoping for the best. You got to be living there. Fourth, your mortgage has to be in good standing. Your first mortgage cannot be delinquent. If you're behind on payments, the commission will not forgive the covenant loan, at least not until things are brought current. So staying financially stable in the home matter just as much as qualifying up front. Fifth, you have to be tied to the original loan or inherit properly. To qualify for forgiveness, you must either be a borrower on the original covenant loan or inherit the home from that borrower and be an immediate family member or descendant, including a spouse. And if it's inherited, there's documentation required, proof of death, proof of inheritance, all of that has to be verified. Now, let me zoom out for a second, because this is where strategy comes into play. If you're a first-time buyer or you're relocating to Washington, this program can be incredibly powerful, but only if you plan around it correctly. You're not just buying a home, you're committing to a 5-year ownership strategy with very specific rules. So you've got to ask yourself, am I planning to stay in this home for at least 5 years? Will this be my primary residence long term? Does my income qualify right now, not later? Because if the answer to any of those is shaky, you may still use the program, but forgiveness might not be part of your outcome. And that's okay as long as you go in with clarity. The biggest mistake I see is people hear forgiveness and they assume it's guaranteed. It's not. It's conditional, and those conditions matter. But if you do meet them, this can be one of the most impactful programs available for eligible buyers in Washington today, especially if you're trying to bridge that gap into home ownership without draining all of your cash up front. So, if you're even thinking about buying in Washington, or you're relocating and want to understand how this can fit into your plans, let's talk. I can walk you through whether you might qualify, how this compares to other down payment options, and whether pursuing forgiveness actually makes sense for your situation. Just reach out and book a call with me. And if this helped you understand something you hadn't heard before, stick around, because there's a lot happening in this market right now that most buyers are completely missing. I'll see you in the next one.